So today, we're talking to the famous graphic designer, Mr. Paul Rand. Paul, how are you?
I'm alright. How are you?
Couldn't be better, so let's just dive into this.
Alright.
So can you tell me a bit about your early life?
Well, how early?
Well, let's start at the beginning. I understand your birth name is not actually Paul, is that correct?
That is correct. My parents named me Peretz, and our family name is Rosenbaum. But Peretz Rosenbaum? That's a mouthful. I just wanted something short and recognizable. I was born in 1914 in Brooklyn. As a kid, I painted signs for my father's grocery store and for events at my elementary school. That was pretty much the start of all this. As I went into high school, my father didn't think that art could support me financially, so he had me taking night classes at Pratt. I also attended Parsons School of Design and the Art Students League, but those weren't really for me. I consider myself self-taught based on how many magazines and books I have read.
I respect that. When would you say your career began?
I used to make stock images for a newspaper. Between those and the work I made in my classes, I had a pretty large portfolio by the time I was 20. In my early 20s, people all over the world were starting to recognize my name. I was working on covers for Direction magazine free of charge, but I had complete control. It was those covers that got me noticed. When I was 23, I was hired to design the fashion pages at Esquire. My page design really helped get me noticed as well.
I've seen some of those covers for Direction. This December 1940 cover, the barbed wire package. Is this one of your more well-known works? Is that correct?
Yeah, people really seemed to enjoy that one. There were a lot of themes involved in that one as well. Cross, present, blood. I was mixing in a lot of elements of high art with what was considered at the time to be low art, graphic design.
What are some of your favorite pieces you've made?
Excellent question. I think I'd have to say my favorite works were probably the Direction covers. I really got to explore my style and make work I enjoyed.
It's great that you love the work you do. Now, obviously, some of your pieces have become more popular than others. Why do you think that is?
Well, my most well-known works are logos for companies. ABC, Westinghouse, UPS, IBM. They're all clean, simple, and logical. The UPS logo has a package on it. Westinghouse has some circuitry. It's just things that people can really understand. That's what design is all about, getting your message across.
You seem really involved with your work. What's your favorite part of the process?
Well, I love every part. Even when I had a large staff, I would always try to be involved in every part of the process. I've basically always had complete control, so it's kind of a habit now. But I think the work comes out stronger and more like how I envisioned it when I have at least some control at every step.
Where do you get your inspiration from for your work?
European painting is a big influence to me. Van Doesburg, Leger, and Picasso, their work really stood out to me. When I was doing the Direction covers, I was really just trying to emulate these painters, and I think from that I was able to branch out to my own style.
What makes that a modernist way of thinking?
Oh, because there's more to life than just design. But design is everywhere, and people need to draw inspirations from everyday life.
People say you're a modernist. What does that mean to you?
A system is a natural need for order. Whether you like it or not, you live by a system. You have breakfast every morning, you go to work, you go to sleep. That's a system. That's modernism. I try to make work that is systematic. It makes sense and it's understandable. There was always the implication that you do things willy-nilly simply to achieve a certain look. Nonsense. Everything one does must make sense, must be practical, because the problems are practical ones.